Holy smokes. Welcome back, ninjas. Joey Moss, Bad Boy Gaming. Skidink. Challenger decks are back. People were asking me last week, what are in the Challenger decks? What are in the Challenger decks? What do you think will be in the Challenger decks? How about I just show you what's in the Challenger decks? All right, so let's start it off. United Assault. I like the artwork on these too, by the way. I quickly browsed through the artwork just to get a good look, and I dig them, but I haven't seen what's all inside of them. So a Challenger deck basically takes a top 8 deck and nerfs it. More words or less. So here's what's all inside of this one. You got 4 of the Dauntless Bodyguards, the Hawks, the Vanguard, Ass Pirate, Pridemate, Vanguard, Marshall. They're running the Marshall in here. Playset. This is cool. I don't know if they were doing this last time with Challenger decks or the first or second batch of Challenger. This is the third run of Challenger decks. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's the third batch of Challenger decks. But I don't think they were doing this before with Challenger decks. And that is running playsets of cards. 100 Witness, 3 Pride Conquerors, 3 of the Conclave Tribunals, 2 Legion's Landings, 2 History of Benalias, 21 Planes. But wait, there's more. A sideboard. 1 Conclave Tribunal, 3 Knight of Grace, 2 Make a Stand, 3 Shieldmare, 3 Baffling Ends, 2 Honor Guards, and a Remorseful Cleric. No way. They're making these actually competitive. Now, of course, there's upgrades. 100% upgrades. And it even lists those upgrades here. This one's modeled after United Assault by Lewis Scott of Arga's second place deck. They basically nerfed the deck. That's about it. Yeah, you want to include some Snubhorn, the Leonin Vanguard. It just tells you what you can do to upgrade the deck. Modify the deck with Tithe Taker. Yep. Unbreakable Formation. Yep. A Johnny's Adversary and Venerated Loxodon. Absolutely. I've built this deck on Arena and ran it, and it is solid, man. It is good for the go. So this deck alone, price value-wise, I mean, right now, currently, History of Benalia is running about, don't quote me on any of this, but this is a rough estimate. I haven't checked the price on all these lately. 10 to 12 bucks. And Benelish Marshall, these are the notable cards. Benelish Marshall is about maybe 250 to 4, I'm assuming. I could be off. But those are the notable cards. Same with Legion's Landing. That's like a $6, $7 card right now. These cards are all going to go down in price too. So if you're looking to dump, you might want to dump right now. Next up, we have Lightning Aggro. Oh boy. Mono Red Challenger deck. Here we go. Lightning Aggro. What is inside Lightning Aggro? They are going to be running 4 Fanatical Firebrands. You bet. 4 Gitu Lava Runners. 4. It's like I'm on Arena. This is like almost the exact same build you see on Arena. Almost. There are some changes here, I noticed. Goblin Chainwhirler ×4. 1 Rekindling Phoenix. Interesting, they threw this in the burn deck. They didn't even need to do that, but I think they wanted to, instead of copying a deck completely, they just threw a Rekindling Phoenix in there to increase value and maybe get more of these out there. So it's making these more affordable. I think the big sale here, 2 Lava Coil, 1 Banefire is interesting. 4 Shocks, 4 Lightning Strikes, playset of Lightning Wizard, 2 Experimental Frenzies, 22 Mountains. 22 Mountains. You know why? Because you can't run 13. 22 Mountains. That's a bit high, though. But considering this deck is running the 4 Goblin, I don't know. That's a bit high. Wizards, I don't agree with this model so much. I think they could have made that like 21 or 20, really, to be realistic in paper. I don't think 22 is necessary. But that's okay. They did what they did. Sideboard is Fight with Fire, 4 Diamond Mares, 4 Lightning Mares, and 3 Fiery Cannonades. Yeah, for the average kid out there, and I think giving someone the ability to just be able to pick up a deck, and it's a good deck, and use that deck, basically competitively, that is really, really cool. You might not be. You can't just take this deck to a tournament and win. You might actually win. I don't know. You might win something. You know. You can probably take it to your local game store, and if you include some upgrades, like in this build, they have Skewer the Critics. I think they limited the print run on Skewer the Critics, and that's why it's not even in here. Because why would you not just throw a common in there? It's a common, Wizards. I think there is some stuff going on with Skewer the Critics. It's almost maybe like a lightning bolt. They're making it more rare. Maybe they know how powerful it is. I mean, Skewer the Critics is essentially a lightning bolt. Legal and standard. I get the whole 3 drop, but 9 times out of 10, If you're running mono red, you're going to be able to cast this no problem for its spectacle cost, which is the same price as a lightning bolt. Ridiculous. So this card will go up in price. Believe that. You will see this card continuously go up in price unless it gets reprinted. But back to the basics, baby. Runaway Steam King, a playset of those. I mean, you're just putting in some really good cards in here. And here's for suggestions. It tells you what you can run. They're even saying if you wanted to splice it, maybe with Rakdos or something. Screw the Critics Risk Factor. That's one card that's missing up in there. You definitely would want to run that. This is Alex Magilton's deck from Mythic Championship. Pretty sweet. We're going to get into next up is Deadly Discovery Challenger deck. What were decks that you guys were thinking that we might see in here? What was something you were hoping to see in the Challenger deck area? I think this is one that was kind of long overdue. This is Deadly Discovery. Here's what comes inside Deadly Discovery. 1 Vraska's Relic Seeker, because why would you not want to run the Vraska's Relic Seeker? It's a great card. Merfolk Branchwalker ×4. Actually, it doesn't see as much play as it used to. 4 Merfolk Branchwalker. 4 of the Llanowar Elves. 4. I like the play sets. For anyone who knows anything about Magic, you need consistency in Magic. And typically a deck that has playsets of cards, that's the way to go with consistency. Unless you have cards that just have really similar abilities, like a Llanowar Elf. And what's the other elf that's like this Elvish Mystic? Unless you have cards like that, you know, and you're running 2 of and 2 of, or something weird, you know. You want play sets to be consistent. 2 Jade Light Rangers. This thing, don't quote me, but really close. Within 10, I'd say it's between $9 and $13 a pop for a Jade Light Ranger right now. That is phenomenal. There's 2 in this set. Ravenous Chupacabra, it was like a $2 card. I say he was, because the prices are going to drop on some of these. But they had to reprint Ravenous Chupacabra already. Why? Because it's just that good of a card. For a 4-drop, enters the battlefield, destroy target creature and opponent controls. Get out of here. 1 Plague Crafter. I would have liked to have seen maybe 2 in here, but that's okay. 1 Plague Crafter is select. District Guide ×2 for a little bit more ramp, as if Llanowar wasn't enough. 3 Golgari Fine Brokers. It's almost like they modeled this after the old version of Ravnica, like during Ravnica Allegiance block. I know there's a couple cards that just came out. Are there any ones that just came out in this set? Is this the old one? Fine Finale. This is like the old one. I mean, this is new. This is brand new, but I'm looking for 1 card from the latest set, and there is none. That's interesting, from Ravnica Allegiance. What else we got in here? The Golgari Fine Broker, 2 Fine Finale. This is like the last meta successor. Or not the successor, but this is like the last meta, what was good. 4 Cast Downs. Great card. Great. I think it's a $1 right now, too. 3 Eldest Reborns, which should have been printed rare. How many people think you should have had Eldest Reborn printed rare? I am one, I'll say that. 2 Woodland Cemeteries. They needed to do something like that. I'm glad they did. So that's where your value is really at. The Jade Light Rangers, your Woodland Cemeteries, Overgrown Tomb, only 1. They didn't want to flood the market, I guess, and upset collectors, I think, by putting too many of these shock lands out there. And whatever these lands are called, too. But that's going to drive the price of these 2 boys down, believe that. 2 Memorial to Follies, 8 Forests, 6 Swamps. Pretty cool, man. Duress is in the sideboard. Golden Demise. Crawl Harpooner ×2. That's even up. That's like $1 now, or 79 cents. Argyle's Bloodfast, Reclamation Sage, and Murder. Murder, Mo. Look at that. And it tells you upgrades, what you can do here. Deadly Discovery, the black-green deck. I'm not going to read over all this. If anyone wants to check out anything outside of just stopping and pausing the video, by all means, this is on the Magic the Gathering website. You can just go there and get a look at all of this and all the details in full. This one's pretty sweet. Most open-ended, yeah, in terms of how you can modify it for sure. Karn Sign of Urza. I like to use that artwork on it. Not that these aren't in the deck, but these are upgrades you can include. Vivian Reed. Hey, Vivian, you got way over there. For sure, Vivian would go in here. Druid of the Cowl. Interesting incubation druids here, but I guess that really would help. The Doom Whisperer, the Carnage Tyrant, the Midnight Reaper. The Hydroid Krasis. Yeah, there's so many routes you can take with this. I mean, it really is a solid deck that's very versatile in terms of what you can change about it and just upgrade the sucker. Really, really cool. Memorial to Folly. Awesome. What's next? Arcane Tempo. That's what's next. What are they running in here? Boosh! Arcane Tempo has what? Boom! Whoa! An Arclight Phoenix is inside of this one. Get out of here, man. One Arclight Phoenix. This card's going for $32. Right now, this card alone will pay for this Challenger deck if they're selling them for $30. Make sure you check out your LGS for these Challenger decks for sure. If you don't have one near you, Walmart's your next best bet. But they're not out yet. Well, I'll get to the release date. 4 Goblin Electromancers. 4 Crackling Drakes. I mean, even this card's like 50 cents, 69 cents. 2 Murmuring Mystics. The Arclight Phoenix times 1. 2 Niv Mizzet Paruns. I think he's at $5 or 6. Chart of Course. This is $2. Lava Coil's $2 or like $1.50, something like that. Beacon Bolt. 4 of the Ops. Some Radical Ideas. Some Shocks. 2 Dive Downs. I think Dive Downs worth something too. And that's a common from Ixalan. Blink of an Eye times 1. The Mirari Conjecture. Interesting inclusion. 3 Sulfur Falls. 3 Sulfur Falls. That's pretty cool. 4 Guild Gates. 8 Islands and 7 Mountains. Wow. Wizards, you have shined today, my friends. And here's how you can update it or upgrade it. The sideboard really quick. The Mirari Conjecture. 3 Negates. 3 Fiery Cannonades. 2 Disdainful Strokes, a Beacon Bolt, 3 Entrancing Melodies, which is probably going to go up in price also. Shivan, well, it's going to be balanced out now. I think they printed 3 of these because this card will jump in price. So I hope no one was speculating and dived their money into Entrancing Melody. But with all the new Planeswalkers that you can take control of target creature, you gain control of target creature with converted mana cost X. If they're printing legendary Planeswalkers in creature form, that's going to be an amazing card. But I think they are. Now that I see they put 3 of these cards in here, I think they might be doing that. Call me crazy. You heard it here first from Joey Moss, Bag One Gaming. Wow. Here's how you upgrade the deck. Enigma Drake, Crackling Drake, Goblin Electromancers, or how to run the deck, I guess. Here's your upgrades. Terramander for sure. They didn't include any of those, which would have been a really good aid to the build. Enigma Drake, Spell Pierce. This is Andrew Yesup's first place deck at Star City Games. And Luis Vargas deck from the top 8 Mythic Championship Inspirations. Wow. Very cool deck for those two, man. And then just to upgrade it, awesome sauce. What do you guys think on this? What would you have liked to have seen? Did they not have something in here that you wanted? I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm pumped. Hype is real. These are looking awesome. Again, if you want more details, want to go over this list again, by all means, just go to magicthegathering.com or what was it, wizardsofthecoast.com, and you can go from there. Awesome sauce. Skadoosh.